as you can see from the Penguins organization and all the way down to the training facility, there's been a tremendous commitment at all levels to provide every resource and material for your son or daughter to reach their potential. And what we want to talk a little bit here about is the programming of the practice plan, the development model that your sons will go through this year, and give you a little more information on why you see what you see, why the practice plans, why the 4-week training quad looks like it does, and then give you a little bit more of the science behind it. There you are. What we want to do is take advantage of the sports science and the advancements in sports science of today to be able to deliver a better product for your son and daughter. Right? In my opinion, this is the most important document that any hockey coach, hockey director, and parent as well has a firm understanding of. Okay? These are the 5 physical skill capacities of an athlete, and when in their development model, when in their development career, certain types of training are more receptive. So we now know if I'm coaching 10-year-olds, what the body and brain of a 10-year-old is wired for. If we're coaching 15-year-olds, what the body and brain of a 15-year-old is the most receptive to, and it's our job as a hockey association to inform, to work with our coaches for them to provide the proper training model. With the particular age group that we have here, 14, 15, 16 years old, you'll see peak height velocity, stamina, and speed 2. Peak height velocity is very specific and detailed to your son. We want to be very detailed in our training with everything that we do with this organization. We don't want to just blanket a group of 15-year-olds and train them and treat them all the same. We have some 15-year-olds that are closer, that were born in January, February, March. It's called the relative age effect. They're a little bit further along down on the developmental stage as a 15-year-old who was born at the later parts of the year. Okay, so one way that we can be very detailed in our training, on ice, off ice, for our particular kid is the peak height velocity. And this is the rate of accelerated growth. So we can go home and we can start to measure our son every month. And you'll start to see that it's the velocity of growth every month. You'll get to a point where they're accelerating, and now it'll start to plateau. From the second that peak height velocity starts to plateau, that specific individual is ready to start their off-ice weightlifting program 6 months from that time. So the long bones are starting to slow down. Now that the cartilage, with stamina, you can start to see at 14, 15 years old, the body's energy systems, the anaerobic and aerobic capacities are increased right now. So you'll start to see practices, skill lengths, drill lengths on our Thursday skill sessions, going from 15 to 30 seconds. Now those skill sessions and drills will go from 30 seconds to 45 seconds, or 45 seconds to 60 seconds, because the body's energy systems are evolving right now, and they can handle the increased workload. And then speed 2. Speed 2 is the linear speed. Now they start to get strength. Now it's the explosive first 3 strides, and in conjunction with the off-ice weightlifting program upstairs, we start to build the right athlete at the right time. That was an example of the sports science behind a 15-year-old. Now we're going to give you a little bit more about the concepts and the focus. Long-term athlete development. Hockey is the latest specialization sport. Early specialization sports are gymnastics and figure skating, or if you want the best at 14 or 15, you have to retire. NHL players are drafted at 18 years old. The average age of an NHL rookie this year was 23.7 years old. It's a late specialization sport, so we need to be cognizant of that, and we need to be patient. We can't speed farm our players. They can't jump from 16U right to 18U. Have them be patient. Let's be patient. Let's be focused on the development model. Right now, and at this age group, we need to be very focused on the competition model, where we feel more games are beneficial. But we'll see right here, 14 and 16 years old, they're still in the training to train stage. And I'll show a little bit of video of down in Wilkes-Barre. On Tuesdays, I'll go down and work with the AHL players. They are not in the NHL. They are development players. So even at 16 years old, we are in the development window, and our focus needs to be on putting them in the right environment to continue to train.
When you do teamwork with short regiments, and when you arrive, see things like that, and things like that, or now when you arrive, Pavel Datsyuk is an absolute workaholic on and off the ice. It's not by accident that these guys are this good. It's because they work that hard. And when you watch Pav every day after practice or before, and you watch how hard he works, it's not by accident he's as strong as he is and can play the way he is. And so to me, that's what separates. There's lots of nice players in the league. but they don't get to play long at the end of the year because it's not about being a nice player. It's about winning your battle every time you're on the ice. And there's no space and there's no room, and the ice gets worse as the year goes on. And so it's not about being pretty, and it's not about open ice or who looks good in practice with no pressure on them, and who can make a play in a small area and win a battle. I mean, that's the game.
So I think two key takeaway messages of that is, one, it is the work effort and the work ethic of our players and what it takes to become successful. And the kids that persevere through early growth spurts or late growth spurts. So it's our job as coaches and hockey directors to find ways to intrinsically motivate our players. We set goals each month, and they get to see the results of the hard work that they're putting in. Are they achieving their goal? And once they achieve that goal, they continue to set another goal. So keeping them motivated to continue the work that's required to have success in hockey. And then the second thing is, it's all about small area games. It's all about your ability to perform in a small area. And part of our practice plans always focus on a small area game component to that. And what we're going to do in this next slide here, last year our Penn's Elite Skills Session was always on Thursday. And so it's a 4-week training quad. The players have been informed about this every time that we go out on the ice. But there's a progression to the 4-week training quad. And I'll tell everybody right now, the focus of the first 4 weeks is on puck possession. So how we put together a 4-week training quad is that first week is the focus is puck possession. So the first week are all the individual skills, skating and puck handling, that are required to maintain the puck, maintain possession of the puck. Week 2, we take the physical skill set and add one decision-making component to it. We either add an opponent or we add a teammate. It either turns into a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-0. Week 3, we now add that individual skill component plus the additional decision-making complex of a teammate or an opponent, and then we add in a transition component, where we're either identifying from offense to defense. And then the 4th week is every player's favorite week. It's the small area game. So every small area game is focused on puck possession. But every 4-week training quad has a purpose, has a progression, and like I said, last year, Thursday night was our Penn's Elite Skills Session. On Tuesdays, I go down and work with the AHL team and run their entire practice on Tuesdays, and you will see in these next couple videos, it's exactly the same. So Penn's Elite Skills Session is on Thursday each week. Wilkes-Barre Skills Sessions are on Tuesday every week. These are professional hockey players, one step away from the NHL, yet every one of them has a physical skill deficiency, and that's why they're in Wilkes-Barre and not in the NHL. You'll see it's the exact same drills that your 15-year-old sons go through, and they struggle the exact same way. Now, skating, and we'll go into puck handling. Coach Sullivan calls it time at task. The more time at task for each player in every practice, the more efficient we become in developing our players. There's no laps, there's no lines, there's no lectures. You don't get better by standing in line, you get better by doing. So now we'll go in. This looks it's the exact same setup as a week 2 or week 3. We split up into stations on the ice. Okay, we have forwards down at one end right here. They're working on a particular skill set, picking pucks up off the wall, zone entry. Up in the neutral zone, we have another group of players that are working on various stick handling movements, and then down at the far end, we have defensemen that are working on their individual skills as well. And then that 4th week of the training quad always comes down to small area games. Like Babcock said, it doesn't matter how well you stick handle around the cone or how well you stick handle around a line on the ice. You have to be able to perform under pressure and use your skill set with reduced time and space. If players don't rise to the level of the competition, they'll always fall to their level of training. So we as coaches need to put them in an environment where the pace and tempo in practice is higher than the game level. That's it. Thank you.